Welcome to the Miracle Morning Mastermind. We are live on November the 14th, 2025. The month is moving, but we're moving ahead of the month. Uh, we've been talking about the power of asking. Some of you were on live where you saw the YouTube video called Ask and You Shall Receive, which was a topic yesterday about that asking is key. And many times, as leaders, and for me in my journey, there were things that I didn't think I would need to ask my team members to do, or ask my prospects to do, or ask people to do. How many have ever thought that there were some things you shouldn't have to ask somebody to do? Anybody ever been there before? You're like, oh, I shouldn't have to ask somebody to do that. There's certain things people should just do on their own. Has anybody ever felt that way before other than me?
I
Oh,
have.
absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And has anybody ever found out that it doesn't work? Other than me. Or maybe found yourself frustrated because it didn't work. So I addressed that in yesterday's topic, that sometimes we may not think we need to ask a person to do something, but there's so many factors that that mindset doesn't take into consideration. You know, um, there's certain things that somebody doesn't have to ask me to do, but it's because certain principles have been instilled in me. It's because of something I learned from my mom, or something I learned from my dad, or something I learned from my environment growing up, or something I learned from church, or something I learned from the television shows that I watched, or, all these factors shape. Oh, by the way, there's certain things that occur to me naturally because of my personality type that God gave me. And there's certain things that do not occur to me naturally because of the personality type God gave me. So I realize now that for me to assume that somebody shouldn't have to be asked is a mistake. That is also almost projecting that this person had the exact same mom that I had and learned the exact same lessons that I learned, had the exact same experiences, something I learned on the job, something I learned in the military. They've gone through all the same experiences in their life that I went through to arrive them at the same conclusion that nobody has to ask me for certain things. So I'm assuming that nobody should have to ask you. And it's not fair to you, it's not fair to people, and it's not fair. It's not wise, and it doesn't work. It only leads to frustration in most cases, or resentment, even worse. So what's the point of all of this? What I've learned is that if I'm not asking, I'm probably assuming. So some of you were on live yesterday, and I'd love to hear some of your takeaways from that topic yesterday, especially for those who weren't on or haven't watched the replay yet. What were some of your takeaways on that topic and how it relates to the standard? So, for example, I keep asking you all every day. I realize just because we talk about the daily standards, right? There's three. I'll do a quick little recap. There's three questions that came out of yesterday. Question number one, and let's take the standards for example. We've been talking about how early, the power of getting it done early, the power of our morning routine, the power of getting the most important thing done early in the morning, as early as possible, before everything else, and making it a new standard, right? So I've been asking everybody, what time could you, and go ahead and answer again in the chat because I'm asking again, what time could you, on a typical day, what time could you finish your 2 to 5 invites with a three-way? Like it only takes like 5 to 10 minutes typically, especially if you plan in advance who the 2 to 5 are. If you plan the night before, the day before, what how early could you do your 2 to 5 with a three-way? 2 to 5 simple invites with it as simple as a three-way text to someone. How early could you do it? Mine is 8:30 a.m. Tuesday through Friday and 11:30 a.m. on Mondays because I have back-to-back Zooms. So the earliest I can do it on a Monday is realistically is 11:30 a.m. So here are the three questions as it applies to the standards. Question number one, would it be worth it? No, no. Question number one is, can you do it? Put a number one in the chat if you can do that on a typical day. Put a number one in the chat if you can do that, can get it out. Like you can do it. If you decide to and just decide this is my new standard, no matter what, I'm not letting anything distract me. Can you do it? And I'm assuming the answer is yes, because you're the one who picked the time. Because I asked you what's a realistic time. So I'm assuming that you can do it, but I'm not going to assume. I'm going to ask, not assume. Question number two. So question number one is, can you do it? You all want to write these down to ask yourself and ask your team members. Can you do it? Number two, would it be worth it? Put a number two in the chat if it'll be worth it for you to do it. Like, is it worth it? Like, whatever you have to rearrange in your thinking, and whatever you used to do early on, doing this first, is the payoff worth it? Being able to get it done so early that you start inspiring other people to get theirs done early. And then you got all this productivity happening throughout the day, and everything else you do is extra because you got it done so early. Not only are you able to inspire others to do theirs early, but you got plenty of time left in the day to do extras. Like, what will that do for your growth? What will that do for your income? What does that do for your self-esteem, your self-worth, how you feel about yourself? I'm telling you, it feels amazing being so productive so early in the morning. It feels amazing being so consistent every day. It feels amazing being able to inspire. It's how many people are telling me that they're inspired. Like, Coach, you inspired me to do mine early. Look, I did mine early. Hey, here are mine. Oh my gosh, this is so much simpler than before. I'm feeling so good about myself. It feels so good for me to see you feeling so good about you. And guess what? That feeling makes you even more attractive as a leader. Now you're starting to attract even better people, more people. So the question number two is it worth it? And then question number three, put a three in the chat if I can count on you to do it over the next week, at least 5 days. Practice it. Get yourself to do it. Do it badly, but do it. Can I count on you to do it? Put a three in the chat. Can I count if I can count on you to do it? This is quality asking, you all. I just asked three quality questions. And what I know is that if I leave out question number three and don't ask you for the commitment, Pam Carnes was saying yesterday, she's learned this in different relationships. Like, just because somebody says, or yep, that makes sense, that doesn't mean they're making a commitment to doing something. I see you smiling, Pastor Glenn. You learned that one too? Anybody else? Anybody else learn that in your life? That just because somebody says, oh yeah, that makes sense, or whatever, it doesn't mean they're agreeing to do it. They didn't commit to anything. They're just saying, I hear you, or it makes sense, or I'm just letting you know I'm paying attention, but I have not given you a commitment. Do not confuse. Yes, it makes sense. Yes, that sounds good. Yes, that was a great training. This is what I've learned. Just because you think it is a great training doesn't mean I can count on you to do it. I've learned I have to ask. But even for me, think about ourselves. There's times where I hear something that makes sense. I hear something that's worth it. I hear a great training, but I still haven't committed to it yet. There's usually a thought process I have to go through before I commit to something. And has anybody ever thought something was a good idea? Wow, I really should do that. Or you said something like, I got to start doing that. Or I want to start doing that. Or I need to start doing that. But you haven't yet committed to doing that. But when somebody asks you directly, can I count on you to do it? It speeds up your decision-making process. And that's our job as leaders. Leaders are askers. Our job is to ask quality questions. And the more we ask, the more we receive. So let's hear from you all. What are you taking away from this, especially as it pertains to the standards? What are you taking away? How's it going? What are you experiencing with sticking to your standard in the beginning. It's usually uncomfortable or a little sloppy for if it's a new habit. So if that's what you're experiencing, share it. Usually there's some resistance in the beginning because it's you're shifting from your old self to your new self, right? So it's a process. Let's hear from Miss Laverne Moore and then Miss Deidre Glover, and then raise your digital hands, everybody. Who's next? Take it away, Miss Moore.
Yes, so thank you for this, Coach, because, and first of all, this is Laverne Moore out of Missouri City, Texas. I am an executive director maker on the Pam Carnes team. Yay, let's go, Team Carnes. I am out and about already, not prospecting, but I prospect wherever I go. This was a great reminder when you don't ask. And I don't know if Diane is on this line or not, but I'm gonna use her as an example. We did a PBR one time for her, and she sent out all these texts, and she thought no one was gonna show up. And fortunately, someone did, and I was glad that, we still planned and did it like we planned on doing it. We still went through with it. But one guy was like, she was shocked that he showed up, and he said, well, I said okay. Well, okay doesn't mean yes. Like you said, okay just means I hear you, I heard you. So what I'm getting in the practice of doing now, when someone says okay, and someone just did this to me a few days ago, when I asked them about watching a video, they said okay. And I said, so does that mean, getting more clarity on when someone says okay, or that's, a thumbs up or whatever, because that's not giving you permission, or that's not saying yes. So that's one of the reasons I love this training, because it does help you to get clarity. Even yesterday when I did a presentation, I didn't do the close like I should have done it. I didn't ask the question when and where I should have asked the question. So again, this is just great training. Thank you for this. I appreciate it.
Well said. Everybody make some noise for Miss Laverne Moore. Whoop, whoop.
Okay, Miss
Woo,
Moore.
woo, woo,
All right,
woo.
Thank you,
Woo,
Miss
woo,
Moore.
Laverne, go Laverne.
Yes.
That is so real. We cannot assume what okay means to one person doesn't mean the same to another person. Our job, and as just effective communicators in general, not just in business, but in life, quality communication is not assuming that you understand what a person means. Even if we think we do, it's important to do what Ms. Moore just shared and clarify. I think this is what I hear you saying. Is that correct? I think you're saying this. Am I hearing you correctly? And never assume. It's just a good practice in communication in general that leaders develop. Miss Deidre Glover, take it away.
Good morning, Deidre Glover, Houston, Texas. Carnes Power Team. I'm an executive director and an executive director maker. This is awesome training. Once again, I started out being that person that did not ask. And I shied away from it. I just like, well, I just didn't do it because I didn't feel worthy to ask them, or whatever my feeling was. I didn't ask. And so now I know that I need to ask, because I can go back and look at all those people that I did not ask, and we I feel like it was nothing finalized. And so thank you for this, Coach, because you said ask and you shall receive, and I'm like, yeah, you know that, Deidre. So I mean, now I'm asking. I see that also when I send people videos to look at. If I don't find out, what time today do you think you will be able to see it realistically? If I don't say that, God knows when they'll watch it. And so it's nothing final there. So this is just great. This is great for me to start doing, because I do more of it.
Is-
Ask. Because if
Isn't
I
it
don't
amazing?
ask,
Yes.
what'd you say?
Oh no, go ahead. If I
And
don't
if I
ask.
don't ask, I don't get it. I don't get what I'm looking for. And I feel like something is left off, or I feel like we didn't get to uh at the final thing. And yeah. So
That's so
Yep.
good.
This is great.
Uh,
This is
and
great.
isn't it amazing how something that seems so small can have such a big impact on the outcome? So
Yeah.
everybody show some love for Miss Deidre Glover. Woo woo.
Thank
Woo,
you,
woo,
Miss
woo,
Glover.
woo, woo.
All
Thank you,
right,
Miss
Miss
Glover.
Deidre.
Woo
Go,
woo.
Deidre.
Listen,
Yes.
a percentage of the people you ask are gonna say yes and do it. There's a percent. Just remember that a percentage of people you ask is gonna do it. Imagine if 10% of the people you asked did it. 10%. Then how how um how many people would you, if you knew for a fact 10 to 20% of everybody you asked would actually do it? How many people would you start asking every day?
I'm asking everybody. You know, if if you could clarify, Coach, there are a lot of ways to end a conversation or end a meeting with a prospect, and I mean it's simple to do, and it's simple, and it's easy to do, and it's easy not to do. Oh, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but
You are.
what are some ways? How can I? It depends on what I'm asking for. I know. Uh,
Yeah,
Give me
I
some
can help with
ideas.
that. Yeah,
Thanks.
some here's the thought process. How do you end the conversation effectively? So always think about here's one phrase is never leave a meeting without scheduling the next meeting.
Okay.
Never leave a meeting without scheduling the next meeting. So we want to keep the conversation going and keep the relationship going. So the question for yourself is, what is the next step with this person? So you
Okay.
can think about, okay, what's the next step in the baseball diamond? You know, what was the next step based on when we asked them on the scale of 1 to 10? See those closing questions set you up properly. The three closing questions? What did you like best? Scale of 1 to 10, where's your interest level? And what would it take for you to go from that interest level to a 9 or a 10 interest level? That gives you an idea of what the next step is with this person. So the mindset is we're just always moving them to the next step towards a 9 or a 10. That's the mindset. What will help move them closer to a 9 or a 10? It's not just are they ready to sign up or not, and then either yes or no. No, no, no. It's we're never going to be done until we move them to a 9 or a 10, unless they just violently say, no, this is the end. I'm never going to move past the 0. Leave me alone. Lose my phone number. If they're not saying that, if they're not saying that, keep the conversation alive, keep the relationship intact, and move it to the next step. And sometimes, watch this. Sometimes the next step is informational, and sometimes the next step is relational. What do I mean by that? Sometimes the next step is more information or like getting them something they need more clarity about something that's unanswered as a question. Sometimes they've gotten all their questions answered. The services make sense, the opportunity makes sense, whatever you're presenting makes sense. Now it's just more of an internal thing that they need to do. And if that's the case, you might want to keep the relationship alive. Like, hey, and that could be coming to an event together or getting onto a Zoom just to get to know each other better. So you're gonna just kind of gauge what's the best next step with this person to keep the relationship alive and move them to the next couple notches closer towards a valuable win-win decision. Does that help, Ms. Glover? Or you have a follow-up
Tremendously.
question?
Tremendously. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Miss Sambury. We already gave Miss Glover her whoop whoop, right? Okay, perfect. Miss Sambury. I thought your hand was up. Was that Miss Amber or somebody else? Okay, Pastor
Yeah,
Glenn.
it was me, Coach. It was me. It's Fritzner.
Oh, okay, Fritzner, and then Pastor Glenn.
Yes, I am Fritzner. I'm in Florida. I'm an associate. My takeaway from yesterday, I learned that it's a numbers game. If someone doesn't join, just move on and ask others. That's what I learned yesterday. I learned it and it was reinforced yesterday. That means I want to move on.
That's good. There's a balance between keeping them in the follow-up process is one part of the equation, keeping the relationship alive because they might be ready later. But the strongest point that Fritzner is sharing right now is who's next, who's next, who's next, who's
Exactly.
next, who's next, because and I'm so glad he said this. And here's why: as a leader and a producer, we want to speed up our results, right? And this brings up a really good point. There's two ways that people try to speed up their results. There's an ineffective way to speed up your results, and there's an effective way to speed up your results. The ineffective way of trying to speed up your results is trying to force somebody to be ready before they're ready. That means you're focused on that person. You're depending on that person to speed up your results. That one person to get started faster than they're ready to get started. That's putting pressure on somebody else because of your desires. The effective way to speed up your results is what Fritzner just said. Don't try to pressure that one person to speed up their process. Pressure yourself to talk to 5, 10 new people. That's the effective way. You speed up your process. The proper way to speed up your results is by speeding up your own activity and talking to 10 new people. 10 new people. 10 new people. And then 10 new people. Because you understand that you have a ratio. If 2 out of 10 are enrolling, you don't need to force the other 8 that aren't ready yet to enroll now. They're going to enroll later when they're ready, as long as you keep the relationship intact. And what I've experienced in my business is like 8 out of 10 people enroll over time, but only 2 out of 10 are ready right away in a typical scenario. So the 8 out of 10, so 2 of them I can enroll right away because they're ready. And then another 6 will enroll later as long as I keep the relationship alive and I don't damage the relationship by being upset with them for not being ready, or impatient with them for not being ready, or treat them like they're stupid because they weren't ready as fast as I thought they should be ready. If I keep the relationship alive and trust that they just need more information, they need more nurturing over time, but I don't have to slow down a lot to do that. I can keep speeding up by putting the next 10 people, new people in my pipeline. Everybody unmute, make some noise for Mr. Fritzner. Woo woo!
Mr.
Come on,
Fritzner.
Mr. Fritzner.
Let's go, Mr. Fritzner.
Representing the Decine Power Team.
Right, all
Thank you.
right.
Thank you.
By the way, everybody, let's celebrate a new senior manager, Tharley Noel, representing the Natasha Decine Power Team. Shout out to Tharley Noel. Make some noise,
Go,
everybody. Whoop,
Miss
whoop.
Noel.
Darling, yes.
Congratulations.
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 Congrats.
Yes,
Way to
congratulations.
go, Team Decine. All right, Pastor Glenn, take it away. You're on mute.
Here we go. This is next level for me. Focused on leadership. The first time that I heard "Can I count on you?" I was like, it made me deal with myself. I'm like, what? So you're right. It makes you. It leads you quicker to making a decision, or making a decision about whether or not, oh, I'm really part of this, or she's asking, am I willing to be part of this? So it helped me when I first heard it. I had to make a decision about it. Some people actually will nod at you while you're talking to them, and they don't hear you. It's just they've gotten used to doing that. So it's a really good practice, and I was glad I got reminded of it this morning. My name is Glenn Strotter. I'm in Sacramento, California. I'm an executive director and the next executive director, and I represent Team Franco.
I
Thanks for
love
letting me
how he
share.
said that. And the next
you.
executive director. Everybody unmute,
Yeah,
make some noise for Pastor Glenn
exactly.
Strada. Woo,
That's
woo.
what I'm talking about,
Yes,
Pastor Glenn.
Mr. Glenn. Woo, woo.
Woo,
I
go
love it.
Glenn. Mr.
That's
Glenn.
so good. And remember, I don't ask, can I count on you first? I first ask, can you do it? Because that's a part of the thought process that a
Mhm.
person needs to go through. They need to answer the question, is this something I can see myself doing? And if the answer is no or I'm not sure, slow down until they get a clear yes to that. And then we can go to the next question. Okay, just because they can do it doesn't mean they feel like it's worth it. They might have some other things going on in their life and say, even though it's a good thing, it's just not the right timing for me. And so you need to talk through that before you ask them, can you count on them? Because the answer is going to be no until you help them process that it is worth it or determine that it's not worth it for them right now. And then once you determine, yes, I can do it. Yes, it is worth it to me for me to do it now. Can I count on you to do it? Let's do it. Like, let's just do it. And this is not that last question, can I count on you, is not a passive question. You're really saying, let's do it. You're persuade them to do it. I want this to be really clear. If they can do it and it's worth it for them to do it, your job as a leader is to persuade them to do it. How many have ever had somebody try to persuade you to do something that was not in your best interest? High school, middle school, whatever, life. That's called negative peer pressure. But when you are persuading somebody to do something that is in their best interest to do, that is called positive peer pressure. Positive peer pressure is healthy. Positive peer pressure is of integrity. Positive peer pressure is our responsibility as leaders, as team members. We are supposed to provide positive peer pressure for each other. If we don't provide positive peer pressure for each other, we are a part of the problem. Woo, who felt that? If we're on a sports team and we want to win the championship, and somebody is down or distracted, if we don't do something to help inspire our team members, encourage our team members, to fire up our team members, and it could make the difference in the team winning or the team losing, then we are a part of the problem because we didn't exert our positive peer pressure, which could have been the difference maker for the team to win. Who is feeling this right now? Put a 4 in the chat if you're feeling what I'm talking about. So positive peer pressure is our responsibility. There's enough people giving out negative peer pressure. The world is giving them negative peer pressure. Sometimes family members are giving them negative peer pressure. Our job is to provide positive peer pressure. How many times a day are we being a positive influence in people's lives, encouraging them to do what's in their best interest? Miss Ellen Jefferson, why don't you close this out? What are your
Yes,
thoughts?
I'll be brief. I'm Ellen Jefferson in Washington, D.C. I am an executive director and an executive director maker on the Boone team. I just want to say that there is magic in the ask. I've learned that from you, Coach. And just last night, I reached out to a prospect that I've been talking to for a couple of months now. And I called with a certain amount of excitement, not over the top, but I talked about some trainings that we've had recently, and I asked her to join us at the breakthrough event on January 1st. And she said yes. And she signed up. She's going with me. Just that easy. I thought, my goodness, all I had to do was ask. So on that note, I'm gonna say have a good day to everyone. We're at the top of the hour, but thank you for allowing me to share.
Make some noise for Miss Ellen
Wow.
Jefferson. Woo
Woo!
woo!
Woo, woo.
All right,
All right, let's go.
Ellen.
Congratulations.
Hey.
Here's today's reminder. There are so many people that will say yes, just as when you just start asking. So ask your way to success. Ask and you shall receive. But you got to keep asking and keep asking more people. Not
Mm.
seek and you shall find, but you got to keep seeking and seek more people. Knock and the doors will be open, but you got to keep knocking and knock for more people. Let's go have a great day today. Stick to your standards, everybody, even if you're a little bit sloppy in the beginning, even if you're a little bit late. Get it done today. Stick to your standards. Don't let yourself off the hook. Maybe I'm either getting it done early, I'm getting it done on time, or if I'm a little bit late, I'm getting it done so you can get it done even earlier the next day. Love you all. Have a great day. What time is it?
Ring time.
Ring time.
Next stop.
Platinum.
I was available if you're going to use it.
Let's
Use it
go.
for activity.
Thank
Have
you.
a great day,
Thank you.
everybody.